On this video, I'm going to be showing you someone that went from working his 9 to 5 job, his retail job, making about $100, $150 a day, to now making consistently $500 every single day. Yeah, I'm going to be showing you everything. I'm going to be asking him questions. We're going to go through how he started, advice that he has for other people, why he started, things that he failed in the past, because chances are you've probably failed at a lot of fucking things trying to make money online. He did as well. He's a 21-year-old guy living in Australia, and him and me started working together, pretty recently. And to see him go from making $150 to $500 a day is pretty fucking surreal, right? You know me, I don't like to fuck around. I don't want to be that guru. I want to be that leader for people that need one, right? So if you're someone that has been watching a ton of videos and you've just gained no fucking value, well, welcome to Nathaniel's channel, all right? Because this is where I try to drop nothing but free fucking value. I'm not going to sell you anything. I don't have anything to pitch you. I ask him genuine questions off the top of the head. There's no script, there's no nothing. It's completely raw. I hope you fucking enjoy it. All right. If you enjoy it, drop a comment. That means the most to me. Let me know what you think, what you want to see. Let's fucking get into it. All right. Let's have some fun. Guys, what's going on? We've got Luke in for a student interview. Luke's been with us in Dynamus for a while now, and he's actually become a pretty core member in Dynamus because he's such a demon. Um, and I trust him enough, and now he's actually helping a lot of the guys within Dynamus. Dynamus obviously being the coaching program that I run to help people become good in appointment setting and remote closing. But dude, Luke, how you feeling, man? You fucking excited?
Yeah, I'm really excited. It was good when you reached out to me and said that you with this little idea that you had. So I think this is good.
Yeah, I'm fucking stoked. Luke is again a demon. He actually came from another program. I won't say the name, but he came from another program into Dynamis and was hungry as fuck. Now he's doing anywhere from maybe like a $200 day to a 300 to a 400 to maybe even a $500 day. And I'll show you that, after, but that's pretty sick. But Luke, dude, tell us a little bit about yourself and just let yourself be known.
Yeah, of course, man. So, I'm from Melbourne, Australia. So similar to Nathaniel, we in this down in Australia, which is best country in the world, man. So I'm in Victoria, but yeah, I'm 21, so I've been in the appointment setting industry, this appointment setting space for about 8 months now, 8, 9 months. And as Nathaniel said, I had been with like a different training program, so to speak. And you know, they taught me a certain amount. But since being in contact with Nathaniel and being able to, you know, pick his brain and for him to help me out, I've seen vastly improvements in my own ability to set appointments, and then obviously a lot more extra cash as well flowing on from that. So yeah, I was the type of guy that left school and wasn't really sure what he wanted to do. Didn't really have anything that came to interest me. Kind of, I went to uni and did teaching for a couple of years, but didn't really work out for me. Wanted to try something new. And looked in the online space for a while. And when appointment setting and closing came up, I thought, gee, these are interesting subjects. Let me look into them. And after looking into them for a while and studying for a little bit of time, I realized that appointment setting is one of the easiest things that you can do and earn really good coin from it. I mean, it's actually crazy. So yeah, really can't thank the old man Nathaniel enough. So yeah, it's a bit about me and where I've been at.
Yeah, dude, that's sick. It's actually been crazy watching you grow in these last couple months. And to see you become such a valued member in Dynamis is insane. Um, so why did you end up actually joining Dynamis, right? Because obviously you were doing your own thing, seeing all this other stuff. Um, what kind of attracted you to Dynamis, right? What attracted you to me?
Yeah, so look, I'd been following. Nathaniel on TikTok and Instagram, and I've been seeing his growth even as well from a few years back, and then to coming into such a well known coach now. But when I first reached out to you, you were still growing and doing your own thing, and I thought this guy's doing something right. This guy's has got a great mindset. He's making really good coin. Potentially, is there a route for me to do some setting for him? That was my first kind of thought.
Mhm.
And when I first reached out to you, even you said, "Oh, like." Even like looking back on it now, like that first message was a bit interesting. Like could have definitely improved on that. But yeah, once you said to me there, look, like not really looking for a setup, but I'd love to help you out. I think I've got a few things we can look at and work on. I
Mhm.
said, sweet, I'm always happy for feedback. So, you know, joining you, what, almost 6 months ago, like start of the year, basically, like January, February area, like it's been terrific. Like it helped me so much in my journey and as an appointment setter. And that thing, going back to that like original question of what stood out kind of for me was that no bullshit approach that you talk about with your videos and everything. You just say it how it is. You're happy to help people. Like, man,
Yeah.
it's clear that you're on top and doing well because you're happy to help people and take time out of your day, which is the best thing, and it's helped me
Yeah.
definitely, and will continue to help me in the long run.
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything that I want you and kind of anyone to take away, it's like just be yourself, right?
Yeah,
Because when you be yourself, things attract, right? And you realize, especially being in, the space that I'm in, is that you can't attract everyone, right? When you try and attract everyone, you attract no one, right? That's
yeah,
why we grow so rapidly in so many different industries. It's because I'm just myself, right? And that's one thing that hopefully you've been able to take away is just being able to be yourself a little bit more and have fun, right? That's the main part of it. Just have fun. I might be making all this and doing all this, but dude, I swear all the time. Like, I'm a very chill fucking guy. Um, but yeah, man, that's one thing that I hope a lot of guys can take away, especially from kind of watching this with you and me, is like, dude, you might be making that money, I might be making my money, but it's like we're normal fucking guys at the end of the
yeah,
day,
absolutely.
right? But dude, so what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm actually gonna show a few of your wins, and then we can actually talk about that a little bit more. So, um, let me share my screen for everyone. So right now I'm gonna have a quick look into the actual community of Dynamus, right? And we will scroll up a little bit and we will see a few of Luke's wins. This is the community chat, and then we'll talk about that a little bit more. So I want to get to kind of pick your brain about your mindset, right? So how can you go from, mentally just working your job, maybe making 100, $150 a shift, for example, to then having crazy days where you might make 300, 400, $500. Like, so I'll show everyone this, and then I kind of want to know a little bit, like, how have you been able to transition your mind, right? Um, Scroll up a little bit. There's a ton of wins. So this one, for example, on the 11th of June, which was 7 days ago, you posted this win. What has been the mindset shift from going from making, let's say, 130, 150, let's say even $200 a shift, right?
Hmm.
To a $300 day? How? Why? Like, what's the thought process?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So kind of like when I first reached out to you a while ago, that mindset was more, okay, well, I need to make sure I'm working. I worked a retail job just like a lot of people do, man, to be honest.
Hmm.
And that mindset was okay, I need to make sure I'm working enough and then trying, just delving a bit into appointment setting and seeing if I can just get a bit extra money here on the side. Um, but since really getting in talks with you and you helped me out, that mindset's changed to most definitely more of a okay. Now I'm looking at appointment setting as I can be earning at least double what I was earning for a day. When I was working a retail job. Like
Hmm.
that's the mindset change is okay, look, and I know everyone's different, some people some people want to work that 9 to 5 life, and it's not for everyone, and all this, but some people want to do that. But when it comes down to the nitty gritty at the end of the day, like, results show for people that put in the work and want to put in the
Yep.
work. And I've definitely changed that mindset from a guy that was just like, oh, I'll work a few shifts and then might do a bit of appointment setting when I get home, to, okay, now I'm just doing appointment setting. Like, it's a full kind of shift, I suppose, if you want to put it that way. Like, it's so much easier to be sending DMs than having to drive to work, get stuck in traffic. You're paying for petrol. Your shift might be, freaking, let's say 7 hours, and you get a 20-minute break or a 15-minute break. Like, appointment setting so much more flexible. You can work, you could put in 7 real hard hours of work, even appointment setting.
Mhm.
Some coaches out there are super busy and they need people on the go straight away. And then you've also got some that are got a little, their DMs aren't as busy, but like, you can still be doing extra work with appointment setting. If you want to put that time and effort in, the results will show.
Yep.
Um, and you're also able to take a break when you actually want to, and not have to wait for your boss to say, "Oh, yeah, you can take a 15," when you could probably just go and have lunch anywhere you like for the next 40 minutes. Just give your coach a heads up, and he'll be like, "Yeah, no problem." Come back in the Arvo and you've smashed out 1,000 appointments. Like, it's just like, it's really flexible appointment setting, and it's been definitely the mindset changes. Okay, instead of just working, a retail job, I can work from anywhere realistically and do appointment setting.
Yeah. And I think I've kind of seen this with you as the process of us kind of working together, as your shift of the way that you think about money has definitely changed. Right. So now obviously making $300 a day is great. But now that you've done it, you know that you can do so much more. Right.
Yeah.
So I think making the first 300 was like, oh shit, this is insane. Like, I need, it's fucking crazy. But then you do it again and again, and like, okay, like, this is nothing, right? There's other guys that are making like 5K a day, right? How can I do that? Right. Um, this is why I always say there's levels to this shit. Like, there really is,
Mm.
right? Um, so what did you do before appointment setting? Did you ever try drop shipping or other things, or was this the first thing that you actually tried?
Yeah. So, as I said, coming out of school, I was really unsure of what I wanted to do. So I went to uni for 2.5 years and did teaching. I
Hmm.
and I and I defer. I ended up just deferring that for a year, and I was like, okay, like, maybe I'll go back to it. But then in that time, I looked in the online space. I thought, gee, there's like things online. I'd seen a few things maybe on Instagram and TikTok.
Hmm.
Um, and then I came across a few videos talking about appointment setting, talking about working remotely, doing closing. Thought, gee, this, like, surely there's got to be a big need for this. Like, come on. So I had a look, got into a lot more detail, did a bit of my own research, and I looked into trading in the past, but I knew that I knew, like, the basics of trading, where you did need a lot of financial behind it. You need that capital to really smash trading. And look at, being a 20-year-old, like, I didn't really have that much money, especially because I was studying so much. I barely was working, so I didn't really have that money. But I thought, instead of going into trading and not really knowing anything, why don't I actually invest in my future? Similar, I guess, to uni in a way, where you're investing in your future and you're studying. Why don't I invest in my future and literally say to someone, okay, I'm happy to fork out some money as long as you teach me the way, like, as long as you're able to help me, and I'll put in the time and effort. And that's quite simply like what it came down to, is backing myself in and backing people that are around me and teaching me. And it was rough to start. Like, I'll be honest, like, before Christmas, I barely knew really anything, and I've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
But then obviously when I got in contact with you, you're able to help me out, and you poured so much time and effort into me.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this is the shit. And even like some of those wins, like, they're at that stage now where I'm like, they got to be higher than that. Like
Yeah.
it's just there's gonna be more money that, but on the flip side of it, like I'm more than grateful for the position I'm in as well.
Yeah, dude, this is something that you only feel when you start making decent money. It's like, okay, this is great. Now let's make more.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
that's the mindset that you need, right? That's not greedy. That's not needy. That's like, okay, I can accomplish so much. And I think it honestly, it helps you grow as a person as well, right? Because something that I say a lot is if you aren't making 10K, then you can't make 10K, right? If you aren't doing it yet, then you cannot do it, right? So instead of trying to chase that goal, chase the person that you need to be in order to actually accomplish that goal,
mm,
right? And that's what you're doing slowly. You're becoming the person that can. Your mindset's shifting. You've started going back to the gym recently as well,
yeah.
which is good. You know, everything's starting to go your way, so then you can be that person. And I'm fucking excited for when you do, right? It's gonna be a good time. Transitioning, right? Because you go from having an actual schedule, right? So whether at school or work, right, you have a schedule to now having no schedule, right? Is it everything that people dream of? Does it feel good?
Yeah, so look, to be honest, like in school, I didn't mind having that schedule because I kind of knew where I need to be in terms of classes, wherever that be, lunchtime, recess, that type of stuff. So I didn't mind a schedule back then. And then when I got into uni, you've got a schedule, but you're so self-dependent at uni. Like that's, everything's based off your own learning, where you got to be, times, arrival, everything, whatever it be. So I struggled with that. Whereas school, I knew that they'd done it for me.
Mm.
And then once leaving school, once leaving uni, I kind of just probably shied away from that because I just thought, oh, I'm just working. I know that I've got a 7 hour shift, whatever it be. But once starting to integrate from, okay, work and appointment setting to appointment setting, work, and then slowly petering it up to just appointment setting, like um, building that schedule back up has been really important
Yeah.
because you're basically saying to yourself, and this way I kind of look at it is okay, you're keeping yourself accountable by giving yourself a schedule
Mhm.
rather than just making it up on the spot. So, if I just make up my day on the spot, and not stick to a schedule, I might only do a few hours of work and then the coach or the person you're working for, they might go like, what's going on, bro? Like you rise, something happened, blah, 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 etc. Whereas if I'm scheduling that time out for myself, I'm keeping on top of things. I know what I'm doing at that stage. I know how I'm going about it, like week to week, day to day.
Mhm.
So definitely, that scheduling it's so much easier to do. And everyone's different. Like at the end of the day, like some people won't work to a schedule, some people do work to a schedule, but I just think it helps me personally. And as I said, everyone's different, but it's so much more flexible than having to work and be in traffic and whatever it be. So yeah.
100%. What would you say to new guys? Right. So let's say I am I'm building houses. That's what I
Mm.
do. That's what I do for work. I work full time, overtime. I see this, I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. But I've tried a bunch of things in the past. It didn't work. Right. I tried it for maybe a month. It didn't work. So I want to do this, but I'm skeptical. What advice would you give me?
Yeah, definitely. So like obviously I was working retail. I've got heaps of mates that are tradies, working on houses, whatever it be. But the biggest thing I think in my point of view is like you might have your doubts. The online space, it's so vast, like so many different things out there. And people are always questioning, oh, is this legit? Like what do you mean? What are you doing? Like, but at the end of the day, like if you don't do your own research and you don't back yourself, like backing yourself and actually doing your own research, then how are you supposed to know if you've just got this like third party view of looking into it? So the way I kind of always looked at it is back yourself and actually invest in yourself, right? If you're going to try and make a change in your life, back yourself in, and actually take it with two hands. Don't just do a half-assed job,
Yep.
you know. And if you start taking that mindset into not only work, life, the gym, whatever it be, you'll see gradual differences. So it's just, letting go a bit, of this, easy life in terms of not easy life, but easy schedule in terms of I just go to work, like it is
Mhm.
what it is, to, you know, struggling maybe for a little bit where you okay, I'm just trying to get myself around this, or I'm just trying to integrate, and actually seeing progression, seeing results, not being afraid to take the next step, not being afraid to get yourself out there a bit more. So yeah,
Mhm.
just taking that risk and really jumping in with all that you got.
Dude, there needs to be a commitment, right? And this is something that I talk about so much, right? It's commitment because commitment builds everything, right? Personally, I don't even work with people that aren't committed, right? Because I've worked with a lot of people that weren't committed in the past and they just don't get results,
Yeah,
right? And commitment can look like a bunch of things, but commitment is basically, okay, I need this to work, right? People try drop shipping, they try agency, they try to build all these businesses, but the key word is they try, right? They
yeah,
try for 2 weeks and they give up, right? They don't commit because let's be honest, it's never the business at fault, it's you.
yeah,
You could get into absolutely anything and make it work if you actually put in the time to make it work, right? This is that mindset shift of stop trying to get rich quick and start trying to get rich for sure. Right. And we've talked about
absolutely.
that a few times, haven't we?
Yeah,
Um, you've progressed so much, but you were in the slumps for a long time, right? You were in the slumps, and we've talked about that a little bit, where you just weren't making any money, you're putting in a ton of effort. What does it feel like? I know what it feels like, but can you explain to the people what does it feel like to work hard, so hard for one day and see absolutely no results and have to work hard the next day as well? What's the process?
yeah, definitely. Like it's definitely challenging, especially if you're only just starting out. And this is one, looking back in hindsight, which is a terrific tool that we have. But looking back, when I first started appointment setting, there were so many times where I might have been doing outbound DMs or really putting in a lot of effort and seeing no results. And you just think to yourself, like, this can't be right. Like there's got to be something wrong. I've got to be doing more. There has to be something. Then you could also look at it the other way, like, no, this isn't all it. Like I might as well pack it in.
Yeah.
And I suppose that's comes with that mindset change from, okay, I'm working 9 to 5, I might have a rough day, I might get abused by customers, I might make some mistakes, but at least I know I'm getting like paid $150 at the end of the day, or at least I know I'm going to get paid at the end of the week.
Mhm.
Um, but changing that from, the appointment setting where, okay, I'm putting in heaps of effort today, I've set 3 or 4 appointments, I've set 10 or 6 appointments, like whatever it be, and there might not have been a close in that day, or things might not have worked out, and you kind of look and you're like, oh, actually not made any money today, like that's rough. And that's kind of that point of view where especially when you're first starting out, it's one thing I had to do when I was first starting out, is that's kind of the view I was looking at. Oh, I'm not making money, like kind of this isn't it, I might have only made money 2 or 3 days of that week. And that might have been, only 600, $700 for the whole week. And you think to yourself, well, I could have, made that like just working, my retail job. Um, but the difference is like the hours and flexibility is so much different. But
Yeah.
then also, if you're putting in the time and effort, you might not see the results now, but you'll see the results in the future. Like it's going to work out. And this is the thing, like you might be smashing appointments that day, but there might have only been 3 or 4 book calls on the coach's calendar, for instance, and he might not have taken any. So you might have put in all that work, but might not have set those appointments for that day. You might have set them last week or the week before. And it's actually back then, it's that work that you did back then that's got you to that stage. So all those appointments that you smashed out, you booked out on that day, even though you didn't make any money appointment setting, a week down the track, a day down the track, whatever it be, where most of those appointments are being booked, Well, what the hell, 3 or 4 closes, for instance, or throughout the week, like 5 or 6 closes, like that's that work that you put in back then that you'll see compounding work and compounding money, as you always say.
Yeah, always. I always think about compound effect, right? And like I told you months ago, it's like a hockey stick, right? It's just straight and then it goes up, right?
Mm.
And that is exactly what this is. Because I've told you this as well, and I've told lots of people this. Where we are today is because of what we did like a week ago, a month ago, a few days ago, yesterday, right? Whatever our past literally makes up for where we are right now, right? So whatever you,
Yeah,
if you put in a ton of work, a month ago, that's shown right now, right? And what you do today, that'll show in like a month's time, right? This is why it's so important to work extremely hard and keep pushing, right? Because there's nothing harder than working hard today and seeing no results and working harder tomorrow. But that's just how you be successful, right? If it was
yeah,
easy, everyone would be doing it,
yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Um, what are three things that you would say that you need to start making money online? Like consistency, discipline, commitment. What are three things that you think people need to have to start making three, four, $500 a day?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think the main, if I broke it down to three, I think they'd all come back to one thing, and that's mindset.
Hmm.
So, you know, having a positive mindset, being optimistic, being disciplined. They're all three things that are mindset based. So if we're looking at, that positive mindset, okay, I've scheduled out my day. How much am I doing today? How many appointments am I setting? How many messages am I sending out? Okay. Am I doing enough work? Just this positive reinforcement, knowing that what you've put in place is going to work out, keeping positive, stuff like that. So definitely positivity and mindset is always a massive thing. I think
Hmm.
also definitely just putting in the effort, putting in the work. I mean, like simple as, and again, it comes back to that mindset. So am I doing enough? Right? Like, have I got DMs not answered, that could have been answered, that could have been booked in, you know, have I, have I not done as much as I did yesterday? And I thought I had a really good day yesterday, and today, oh, am I slacking? You know, these things. So putting in effort, putting in time and effort. And as I said earlier, like you can see it shift in terms of like your whole life, in terms of things you do in outside of appointment setting. If you're putting in the time and effort, you see the results. Like that's going back to that compounding. You're just continuously doing more, continuously working at such a high level, and you'll see the results. So definitely having, that positive mindset, keep keep going, putting in the time and effort, um, and seeing the results that way. Like they're two big things, and that third one is just again, and this kind of like, I guess again, mindset in a way, but just like relax. Like it's one thing that I think gets overlooked, and I think this is one thing that, especially in like the 9 to 5 kind of job, you might not be able to do is just relax and okay, I'm currently working, but I'm, outside like in the sun, I'm setting appointments, but I'm just relaxing, you might be overseas, you might be on a holiday and you might be appointment setting, but you just relax, scrolling through your phone, setting appointments. I mean, most people just scroll through their phone at night or scroll through their phone at work during the day. Like appointment setters are kind of doing that, but they're making money off of doing that. Essentially, they're just answering questions. You might send 1,000 messages to a chick that doesn't respond to you. Like you might as well be doing sending 1,000 messages to people that will respond to you when they want something that they're interested in. So yeah, definitely things to that I've always thought about, and especially just that big one of just doing more. What can I do more? Mindset things. You'll see the results.
Yeah, 100%, man. Just continuously going and grinding because nothing beats just plain old hard work at the end of the day. Um, I wanted to quickly touch up on value. Now, this is a mindset shift as well, right? Because when you're working a 9 to 5 job, you think that you're valued out how much you are bringing home. So let's say you're working a corporate job and you're making $48,000 a year. That's how you value yourself, right? But let's actually take a step back and think, okay, how much money are you making the company? Like you might be working a retail job, stacking shelves or, out the counter or whatever it may be. You are a part of a sales process. All right. So you might be working at Woolies or Coles or whatever, and you might be making them, I don't know, 5 grand a day because of you being in that sort of communication process. But then you're only making 48 grand a year, right?
Mm,
This is that perspective of value. This is why I think so much people have so much fucking value. They just need to leverage it. You went from
yeah,
working retail to valuing yourself so low to just kind of taking the communication skills that you already had and sharpen it a little bit, coming online, and then do three, four, five a day, right? So, how's your mindset shift change in terms of value? How do you value yourself now?
yeah. So I mean, I value myself and value my time highly, and I think that's the biggest thing that's changed. So, as I said, I used to just think, oh, I'm just a team member, working a retail job, and I'm working 7 hours. I'm getting home, working mornings like maybe 5 till 2, getting home and just doing nothing, sitting there, just all right, is what it is, like watching YouTube, whatever it be, watching a movie, whatever it be,
Yeah.
go to sleep, do the same thing the next morning. So I'm basically just valuing myself as not much, especially in that afternoon period where I wasn't doing anything. I just value myself as another team member. Whereas now it's looking at myself with my schedule and stuff like that, that I'm trying to set out for myself, like, okay, I'm valuing my time here. I'm utilizing my time and I'm valuing myself highly because I know that I'm essentially, when I'm working a retail job, I'm making the biggest company, these big companies are making their money. Whereas I know when I'm working with a coach, when I'm working with a business owner, I know that I'm working with them closely and I'm making them money technically, but they're also, it's vice versa in that way. So, you got that stronger connection with someone. You see the amount of work they put in, a coach like yourself, you know, you got to put in that same work. You got to match them, do, if not try and do more, and valuing yourself as much as you value, them as they're making the closing the deals, for instance, or you might have other people closing the deals. Like,
Yeah.
you just value yourself as such an important work in the chain, work in the movement.
Mhm.
Whereas if when you work in these big jobs, you're just like another team member, like you're just another person. Management don't really care for you. You're just there. Like, you get some regional manager come in, they're on 300 grand a year, and they've had to work their asses off for the last 40 years to get up there, and
Mhm.
they just go, oh yeah, don't even know your name. So, if people don't know your name and you work at a 9 till 5, where's the value at? Like, how much do you value yourself? How much do they value you? So yeah, definitely a value change in my mindset.
Yeah, 100%. I think this is something that everyone will go through if they get into something like this, right? They start to value so much, so different. It's insane, right? And I think it's honestly a beautiful thing in a way where you start to value the little things so much more. Um, but again, let's say I'm someone that wants to get into this, right? I've been seeing sales or appointment setting or closing all over the internet. And I'm like, okay, this is something that could be actually pretty cool. What are some things that they should be prepared for in terms of mindset, in terms of how much work they should be putting in, especially at the start, right? And what is the sort of process that they should do to get into something like this?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, and I kind of said this earlier, that first of all is just don't don't be scared, don't be worried to invest in yourself and really take take the plunge, take that next step. Okay. So you be complacent, you're working a job, but you think there's more out there for you. Okay. If you think that's the case, make that a reality. Okay. Go and chase it, whether it be, appointment setting with Nathaniel, whether it be, a drop shipping, whether it be something like this online, or
Mhm.
even realistically, like if you think you're valued higher at a different job, you know, or you want to go out and do something, you want to go study, put yourself forward, go and do it, get yourself out there, get yourself known. Instead of just thinking you know, you're just another human. Actually value yourself higher and take that mindset from being just a person to someone that's valued by others, someone that's making a change in their life and other people's lives.
Yeah.
So especially when it comes to getting into the online space and appointment setting, knowing that not only are you going to making money from the online space, but you're also helping other people. That's the biggest thing. If you're helping people get into a coaching course, if you're helping people lose weight, whatever it be, you're making a difference in their lives. It's an appointment setter. They might not know that it's actually you, but you know in yourself that you're making that change. You're seeing the results from them. So definitely first starting out is, you're gonna hit little hurdles, little roadblocks. You're gonna make mistakes, but it's knowing that you're valuing yourself higher. You're making a change in other people's lives. You're making a change in your life. So these type of things, like knowing your worth, knowing that you're meant for more.
Mhm.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to have a little hiccup here and there, but it's all going to work out. Like if you continuously put the time and work into yourself and into what you're doing,
Yeah.
it's there for you.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? I think people should take the leap a lot quicker than what they do, right? Because
Yeah,
you probably wanted to make money online for a while until you actually jumped on, right? Um, Same for me, dude. I spent years trying things, and this is one thing that a lot of people just fuck up. They think to make money online, they need to build a business, they need a big personal brand. How many followers do you have on Instagram?
about 1,000, I think.
1,000? Do you post any content on there every single day?
Nah, I think I've got 6 posts on my Instagram page, and the last post was a year ago or something.
Yeah. Right. Um, you don't need much to get into this. So there's not much that should be in the way, right? And it's just a matter of doing. And I just kind of see it as okay, if you're gonna go and achieve someone else's dreams and you've been doing that for the last 5, 10, or even, a couple of years, how can you not spend a little bit of time or even money to invest in yourself so then you can make a fuck ton of money, right?
Mm.
Make money and change lives. That's the motto over here. Um, how can you not do that, right? You need to start to value yourself more. Um, but we'll wrap it up anyway. What's one more thing that you can tell to someone watching this, right? Just one piece of advice from yourself. Okay. So just from you, what's something that you wish your past self knew or something that you've learned? What's something that you can give someone right now?
Yeah, for sure. Look, and this again can relate to a lot of things in life, and an appointment setting, and trying to do something new is don't be don't be complacent. Don't be scared and complacent to make a change, to try something new, to let go of the past, whatever it be. Don't just plateau. I use this word a lot. I quite like to say it, plateau, but just don't stay on the same trajectory. Just know that you're meant for more. Know that you can do more if you want to make a change. If you want to go to other people, if you want to, see other people, if you want to go to the gym, if you want to make a change in your life, in other people's life, go out and do it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to cop some criticism or some flack. Like people like will will always, and this is the big thing in Australia is people always, take the mickey out of things, or if you're trying to make a change, or if you're trying to do something that isn't the norm, people go, "Oh, what the hell?" Like talk crap. But if you're if you're willing to put the time and effort in, and you're willing to make that change, do something new, you'll see the results. And there's no, you know, there's no nothing's going to be worried about. People aren't going to make fun at you and stuff like this when you're making more money than them. And when you're more successful than them, and when you're changing lives and they're still working the same job and they're not happy in their lives, but you decide to make that change, people can only talk crap for a certain amount of time until it changes. So if you're wanting to make the change, if you're wanting to do anything, and again, like this can be literally anything in life, just go out and do it, try new things, do new things. Like it's your life, no one's telling you how to live it. So yeah, that's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that's the way that you got to live, and I think you already liked that before we started talking, but that's definitely been solidified a lot more as you've kind of been in this process of changing. You've changed, you've developed, which is good, right? And what you've only been doing this for a couple months, so
Yeah,
I'm fucking excited to see what can happen. But dude, honestly, this was fucking sick, right? It's kind of crazy just going back to when we first started talking. Dude, your communication skills weren't great in terms of actual typing, like messages. Um, but as the process went on, you developed, and now you're actually a big part in Dynamus. You take Tuesdays calls now with everyone, and you're teaching them how you make three, four, five a day. It's fucking amazing. So good shit, man. I can't wait to when you make that 10K and I can give you your 10K award. I'm
thanks.
fucking excited for that. But dude, it was good talking to you anyway. And everyone watching this, please listen to that last thing he said. You can do more. Okay, just because someone tells you that you can't, or just because you maybe even don't believe that you can, I believe in you. Luke believes in you. Um, and at the end of the day, just fucking go and do it, right? Because at the end of the day, what do you have to lose? Not much, right? But we'll wrap that up. Thank you guys so much for watching this student interview with Luke. We'll probably have him on again when he's done 10K and I give him his award. Um, but we'll wrap it up and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Appreciate it, guys.